Okay, guys, I am not in the mood to do content today, but then I am still not in the mood to lose out on not doing content today. So let's do it when I'm here. And I give you a bit of story time about the actual struggles of relocating back to Uganda or back to your country as somebody who did not have savings or enough savings at home, you know. So I'm speaking to you in my bed, in my house in Uganda. I'm glad I can say in my house in Uganda. And I'm happy, but also struggling. So I want us to be very, very honest and realistic about this topic, because however much I post about the positive side of coming back, the struggles are also very, very, very real, you know. The struggles are very real as well. First of all, when you come back to Uganda, or when you go back to your country after you've lived abroad, or in America, in the UK, in Qatar, in Turkey, in Korea, whatever, wherever you've been living, and then you return home, not willingly, because I returned home because my legs were hurting. The struggles that I didn't think of was how hard it was going to be for me to get a job, to fit into the job market. Guys, it's hard to fit into the job market because you're used to the kind of money or the kind of salary you were earning in the other country. And even people, if you tell them where you've been, it's difficult for them to give you a job because they feel like you are overqualified or something, and that becomes difficult for you to find a job, you know, relating to the money you are earning, and you don't feel like you fit in anymore. And it happens to all of us. So let's say you stop trying to look for a job and now you want to start your own, your own job. It's difficult to get a license because in most cases, when you leave the country and go and spend time in a different country, by the time you come back, rules have changed or the laws of business have changed, and then you've lost touch or realities on how things are done. Because trust me, every single day there is a new trick, there is a new format, there is a new way of how business is done. Let's say you had a shop and you sold your shop and went abroad, and now things got bad or you got sick. Like in my case, I got sick of my legs, and also I thought maybe it was time for me to settle down with my then person, and I thought maybe if I came closer it would help bridge the gap between us then, but it didn't. In fact, it just made things worse. So business wise, you've lost all your customers, you've lost the reality of bargaining, you've lost loyalty of people that were there for you before you go. And when you come back, they don't see you the same, they will not accept you the same. So everything is just revolving around how hard it is to actually earn money once you come back to your country, once you relocate back. The other thing is how difficult it is for you to reconnect your friendships, to reconnect with your friends. By the time you come back, probably some of them have moved to another state. Some of them are married now, and some of them are richer than you who went abroad. Yes, It happens. You can come back when your friends are richer. So, in other words, you outgrow each other and then you stay lonely because, oh God, I have been lonely for the last maybe 2 3 years. And it's not because I'm bad at making friendships, but it's because the ones that I was comfortable with are not my friends anymore, you know. And the things I could tolerate then, because let's believe it, for you to stay in a relationship of any sort, you know, there are some things you must tolerate or learn to live with. But now my patience to tolerate people who were treating me less because they were richer than me before I went, it becomes difficult for me to open up and be like, oh, okay, maybe it's time for me to try and be friends with other people. And then I've learned to see people for who they are. So it's even more difficult. So it is difficult. And then it gets even harder. Sometimes you will be down wondering if you made the right decisions to come back, you know, given all those factors or circumstances that I've given. You know, you start to wonder if you made the right decision, because now money becomes an issue. Earning money becomes really, really, really difficult. And then you start questioning, did I do the right thing? Should I go back? Should I stay? And then you get depressed, because let's face it, most of our anxiety and problems always come because of money stress. So it's not all beds of roses. So if you relocated back to Uganda or to your country and you have a support system, you're more than lucky, you're more than blessed. Otherwise, it's very draining. You sometimes feel like you're a loser. Sometimes you feel like you could have done better. Sometimes you feel like you want to go back to the country you came from. And it's a struggle every single day. The only thing is that when you look on the brighter side of things, like, you don't have to suffer the way you did. And let's face it, if you're not in your country, you're always going to suffer extra. Unless you're very lucky, you know, but for my case, it was bad. It was bad. So, as much as I'm encouraging people to return home, to love themselves and to love their country, please try to plan for your life, for yourself, before you fully return back to Uganda, because it gets really tough. It gets real, you know. But the level of anxiety and depression is not going to be the same as the one in the UK. Because here in Uganda, you can't be homeless. Oh. I'm sorry. You can't be homeless for a very long time. You'll find either a relative or a jaja or a country home where you can put your head until you sort yourself out, which is not the same thing in the UK and in the US, you know. So yes, those are my struggles as somebody who relocated back. It's difficult for me to even mingle with people. And it's not that I don't want to, but I am too lazy to get out of the bed to even now as I speak, I was supposed to go out and do content, but then oh, so it's a struggle. If you're planning on coming home, please make sure you set up something that will keep you going for a few days. I'm yawning because I want to sleep, but I'm also watching people working on my doors. Yes, the bedroom door. But I'll give you those updates later. But for now, thank you for watching.